It's been almost a week now since the accident. I don't remember much from before, but I would have been a goner without Crash saving my ass. It's a weird feeling, but I've been feeling different ever since. I can't focus on that now, though. The recruit tier needs me.
Damn, I look good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. I am your host, Seagull, choking on a hot dog, and this is the State of Recruit. As you can see, I have fully recovered from the Humvee incident last week with absolutely zero long-lasting physical injuries to speak of, and definitely no brain damage. So with all that out of the way, I've literally never felt better. Let's get on with our FA signings for the week, shall we? All right, let's get started with our FA signings and trades for the week. So first off, we have the Academics, ACA. ACA have made yet another roster move this season. They have decided to cut one of their riflers, actually, Bismal, in order to sign Deity. So Deity is being signed from the FA pool, and Bismal is going to end up back in the FA pool. They're going to need to make up for some firepower there, I think, because Bismal was one of their star fraggers, but with some of their more recent signings in Swayze and, who else is on their team? Let's see here, Chronic as well. Those guys are definitely going to be able to keep up pace. I see no issues with this cut and sign. Next up, we've got UPS. UPS has been forced to make a roster change. I don't believe they wanted to, but it looks like Nays is going to be going to inactive reserve. Nays is moving, I believe, from what I understand. I heard this from Lance, so he will not be able to play for the rest of the season. Therefore, he is going on inactive reserve, and UPS have signed Jackie in his place. Next up, we've got Wet. Wet was one of the teams that we really here at the State of Recruit thought was going to be super strong coming into this season, but they have struggled a little bit, and it seems like it's a cohesion thing. With all that being said, Wet have decided to cut Goblin. I don't believe there was any bad blood here. I think it was just the fact that they have a lower record right now, and they want to make something work to try to get into the postseason. So Goblin is now a free agent, and Wet has picked up Adeza in free agency here, and our free agent pool is still looking pretty crazy even now with, say, a few games left towards until the FA signing cutoff date. Some of the notable free agents that we have here are Bismal, who was just cut, of course, Fallen Prey, who was very strong during combines and somehow has not been picked up. AOS Arctic is another one who was playing for, I believe it was HG. I believe he was playing for HG, and halfway through the season they decided to make a change. There's also Cash Money. There is Bun as a free agent right now as well. And then, of course, we also have guys like Twisted Agony, Scissor Blades, Oofenschmerz, Sumerai, Keister, Glitchfire, Draco, all of these guys, they are all free agents and all rearing and ready to go, to be honest. So, guys, if you're a free agent, you can still get signed. It's still possible. But that'll be it for our FA signings and trades section for this week. Let's move on now to our match day results here. All right, next up is going to be our Matchday 6 featured match. These are all of your scores for the Matchday 6 here. I'm not going to go through them because that, frankly, takes forever. We're going to talk about our featured match here, which was ATL versus AP. Let's be honest, folks. You don't need to know what the scores are. It's been a week. You all know what the scores are. We we all watched the Weekly Recruit. Let's be perfectly honest with ourselves here. So let's go into this one a little bit deeper. First thing I want to point out, highest rating in the server, Scary. He's terrifying with a 1.44 rating, 22 kills, 15 deaths, 180 R, 70% cast, and a 1.62 impact rating. Absolutely fantastic there. And I also want to point out 24 enemies flashed. Are you kidding? He has more flashes than the entire AP team combined. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. But as terrifying as Scary is, he was not able to put up with the combined firepower that is AP. We have Valid at a 1.32, Sapphire at a 1.27, and Lance at a 1.06 with 18, 18, and 15 kills respectively. Sapphire and Valid both over 100 ADR, 80% cast, and then, of course, the impact ratings are through the roof. And while they don't have quite as many enemies flashed, let's look at the utility damage, right? 3 players over 130 utility damage, where ATL only has 1. That's going to be your difference maker right there. This looked like a real slugfest of a game, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and honestly could have gone either way. But AP just ended up getting the better of them. So that is match day 6 for us. Let's move on here to match day 7. Match day 7, our featured match of the week was UPS versus Savannah, and this was a 13-9 game. UPS taking it over Savannah on Mirage. Very interesting, very interesting. Goal Line Core having a screamer of a game. 151 rating. Absolutely fantastic. 26 kills, 14 deaths, 116 ADR. Just really a good overall game from Goal Line. Omen and Nays also playing really well behind them. 1-2-3 from Omen for a rating and 1.07 from Nays with 20 and 17 kills respectively. The casts looking really good across the board. Honestly, mostly for Spaghettis, looks like Sav has a little bit to work with there on their casts. And that's probably the difference maker in this game here. But it does look like this was mostly a UPS sided affair here, 13-9. It doesn't look like it was too close of a half at 8-4. The Sav did bring it back, losing the pistol round, but then getting 5 in a row. But Spaghettis was just able to close this one out. So really good game there from UPS. We'd love to see more from Sav. We all know they're a strong team. Again, Solo with a 1-2-2 rating, 19 kills, 16 deaths, 94 ADR. UK Cat's not far behind with a 1.05. And we know that the rest of the guys on this team can frag out, right? These guys are just having bad games. It's tough to see, but these guys are going to come back. They are. It's Savannah. They always bounce back to make playoffs. That's like their whole thing, right? So I guess we'll see more of them in the future, but that has been your match day 6 and 7 recap. We can move on to our scheduled matches for match day 8 and 9. All right, folks, next up is going to be our match day 8 and 9 matchups here. So these are going to be your matchups for match day 8, getting things started right out of the gate. First off, the one that I want to point out is going to be our featured match, and that's going to be Thugs versus the Dropouts, so HG versus ACA. The reason that this is being featured this week is because these are the 2 new franchises this season. So these are all 5 brand new teams, fresh cores, and the ACA has just made a roster change. They had 1 game to get this kind of settled out. They actually played very well. They put up 10 rounds, I believe. Yep, 10 rounds against Nadestack, who's one of the top teams in the league. So that's actually a really good showing from them. And I think that if they can get things, put together and really feel it out this weekend, they're going to have a strong showing against Thugs, and they are not going to make it easy on them. The Thugs have been playing very well this season so far, all things considered. They did also make a change in one of their players, signing Drano recently, and that seems to have worked out pretty well. So let's see if they can continue that going into match day 8 and wrap up the season for them. Another one from this match day that I'd like to point out here is going to be the DRG Wet games. These are both teams that have beat top players or have had really good showings against, top teams, but they haven't necessarily had all of the results to back it up yet, right? Wet's just coming off of a roster change, and DRG has beaten Frog, and we all know Frog is a very powerful team that can be very scary at times. So these are two teams that I think are going to have a real slugfest. It's going to be a really fun game to watch. It's going to be really interesting. So those are two games from Matchday 8 that you'll want to keep an eye out for. That'll be on Tuesday. And then coming up to Thursday, we will have a Matchday 9. Here is our matchups here for Matchday 9. And coming right out of the gate, our featured matchup for Matchday 9 is going to be the Hellfire Order of the Samurai game. This is going to be a bit of an underdog game, I think, from Hellfire. But they play Savannah on Tuesday, and then they play OS on Thursday. So if they manage to beat Savannah on Tuesday, they could be coming in hot. This could be a really hot team, right? And Goshi might be a top 3 to 5 team, but they're definitely beatable. It's not like they're doing anything that any of the other teams can't do. They're just doing things that are very organized, and they're doing it very well. I do think Hellfire has a chance in this game, and I do think they're going to surprise us. So keep an eye out for that game coming up. And then another game that I would like us to take a look at as well is going to be the Nan ABW game. These are two really heavy hitters, right? ABW has proven that they are a top 5 team, and so has Nan. They have both come out swinging this season. Nan had a little bit of a slow start, but they were able to bring everything back, and I believe they're on a 5-game winning streak at this point. So can they keep it up? Can they beat ABW here? We'll just have to find out, right? We'll just have to find out. But these games are looking really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to watching them and hearing about all the different stories from in the game. I'm looking forward to the weekly recruit episodes after this to either participate in them or just to watch them, as a participant. But that will be it for our Matchday 8 and 9 preview, and I will send it back to myself at the desk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching again. I have been Seagull. This has been the State of Recruit. Look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Hopefully Jess will be back next week. She was sick this week, in case you guys were wondering. And again, I have been Seagull. And thank you for watching. Yeah, that's all we got for you. So I'll see you nerds later. Bye-bye.